Look closely at this moment. You might think you're watching a tragedy. A woman who, by every measure, has hit rock bottom. She didn't just lose her job, her money, or her home. She lost her identity, her sense of self-efficacy. Psychologists have a term for this kind of total emotional and material collapse: ego depletion, the absolute emptying of mental resources. But what if I told you the true story starts not when she lost everything, but when she was finally ready to build everything again? What if one unexpected encounter was all it took to trigger the most powerful psychological shift of her life? Stay with us, because this story isn't about loss. It's about how the human brain rebuilds hope. Number 1. The echo of loss. In the immediate aftermath of massive loss, the brain retreats. Alara wasn't just sad. Her prefrontal cortex, the center for planning and decision-making, was temporarily hijacked by the amygdala, the fear center. She's experiencing something called learned helplessness, a condition where an individual believes they have no control over their situation and ceases to try to change it, even when opportunities arise. It's a key symptom of severe depression. Her world had shrunk to a survival mechanism. She was practicing avoidance coping, subconsciously believing that isolation was safety. She pushes away friends, avoids calls. This is the tragic paradox of deep loss. The time you need connection the most is the time your brain makes it feel utterly impossible. Number 2. The catalyst of connection. Liam, he's the variable Alara's broken algorithm didn't account for. He wasn't offering a job or a loan. He was offering something far more rare and psychologically vital: authentic presence. That's a beautiful line. You know, you can tell a lot about a person from their cross-hatching. It's just a doodle. Liam. Nonsense. A doodle is a mind saying, "I have too many thoughts, let me give this one some air." You clearly have a brilliant mind. Don't let it live in an attic. What Liam did, in that simple moment, was activate Alara's mirror neurons. When he showed genuine appreciation, a part of her brain reflected that feeling back to herself. It was a tiny crack in the armor of learned helplessness. Mirror neurons, brain cells that fire both when an individual performs an action and when they observe the same action performed by another. They are crucial for empathy and social connection. Liam's positive regard was literally mirrored in Alara's brain. He wasn't trying to fix her. He was providing psychological safety, an environment where she could exist without performance, without judgment. He became a small, reliable point of light. Number 3. The reconstruction of self. You know, if you brace that joint with an angled support, you distribute the weight better. Liam. This is where the real shift happens. Psychologically, humans are driven by a need for competence. When Alara offered her skill, a skill she thought was useless now, she activated the effort justification principle. She realized her intrinsic value wasn't tied to her old title. Effort justification, a psychological concept that the more effort we put into something, the more we value it. By using her skills to help Liam, Alara began to reassign value to her own capabilities. Liam was unknowingly using the most powerful emotional motivator, the principle of reciprocity. By being consistently kind, he earned her trust. By trusting him, she allowed herself to be seen. She wasn't building a new life for him. She was using his faith in her as the foundation for her own. The past tense of her life, "I was a success," was finally giving way to the present, "I am capable." Number 4. The tipping point. This is the moment of this self-fulfilling prophecy. The positive regard from Liam, combined with her renewed sense of competence, created a new narrative. She stopped dwelling on the counterfactual thinking of, "What if I hadn't lost it all?" and started focusing on, "What can I create now?" Liam. So, how are you going to market your next 3 clients? Because that first one is just the warm-up. That he didn't minimize her pain, but he validated her potential. He showed her the possible self, the successful future identity that was still there, just waiting for the scaffolding to be rebuilt. And here's the profound, heartbreaking, and beautiful truth of this kind of connection. The takeaway: Alara didn't need a savior. She needed a witness, someone to see her true self, not the broken shell or the former executive, but the fundamentally capable, creative, and resilient woman underneath. Liam wasn't the cure for her loss. He was the trigger for her resilience. The psychology of healing from devastation is simple. You don't get over it by burying it. You get over it by creating new meaning. And a connection with one person, a friend, a partner, a mentor, who holds space for your potential, is the most powerful psychological tool in the human arsenal. Have you ever experienced a single person who changed your entire perspective? Tell us their story in the comments below. Let's celebrate the people who act as anchors in the storm.